Alyssa with the Nocturnal. It's so nice to meet you, Rebel.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, so nice to meet you too.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk to you. I've been a fan of you for a number of years, and this movie was so much fun to watch, and it was so cool to see you in this.
Thanks. It really is like a surprise packet because it's so different to what you think. You're like, oh, Romeo and Juliet, okay, I kind of know what that is. But this one just flips it with these really fun, amazing pop musical numbers. And I was just like, yeah, I just wanted to be a part of it because it is a bit different. It's different to play a Shakespearean character for me, even though I started back in the day on stage doing classic stuff. But yeah, it's a real kind of departure, and I think it's just a really unique movie.
Yeah, no, it's so exciting. And just being able to watch the film, like after seeing the originals a number of years ago, I'm like, oh, this is like a refresher and it's such a new take and it's so cool for younger generations to see it as well. And I was really curious, what do you think younger audiences could take away from this retelling, especially since it's a little bit more of a modern take, like you were saying, with the pop music, and it's not using like the typical Shakespearean language that we're used to?
I mean, I think this is perfect for younger audiences, like especially if you're one of those people that grew up on movies like The Descendants, which has these great pop songs in it. Then this is kind of perfect, and it's a really I find like with Shakespeare, and I do go to the theatre and I see it, and a lot of the time it just cannot be very accessible. So I feel like what the pop music does is it makes it really accessible. It really heightens the emotions in the scenes, and to me, it just makes this the love story. I really felt for Juliet and Romeo, and they're both such amazing singers. And I just felt like sometimes Shakespeare can lean on the side of being a bit boring as well, and then this just makes it fly through. And don't worry, it's not the boring Shakespeare that you might have had to study in school, because there is a twist to this movie as well.
So many of my friends, like, we did not like reading those in school, and
Oh,
it's such a
yeah.
more engaging way of hearing those stories and being a
Sometimes
part of
it
it.
was such a chore, and I remember
Yeah.
when I was 15 studying Romeo and Juliet at school, and they had the Baz Luhrmann movie come out, and it was so good just to go and see that rather than study. And so because it is close enough, you can come and just watch our movie and don't worry about reading it. Although just know that our ending is a bit different.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the exciting part. I think people really be able to take that away. And I was so excited to talk to you because you are a mom, and this story really ties everything together, like experiences that I'm sure you've had. And I was curious, how did you, I guess, maybe connect with Lady Capulet, just being a mom and having a young daughter and kind of seeing that perspective?
Because I have a young daughter, Royce, and in the movie, my character kind of has to force my own daughter to marry somebody that she doesn't want to marry. And to me, I'm like, oh my God, like in real life, I could never, ever, ever see myself doing that. But how I really related to it is that with the kind of matriarchy in my family, often in history, there's been things that they've had to suffer through or they've had to do that they didn't want to do. And it's interesting how it's been passed down from generation to generation. And me and my family has almost been a nonconformist, and I didn't do what was expected of me. I became an actress, which was totally different. And so in the movie, I kind of relate a lot to Juliet because she is the nonconformist of her family. And she's like, hell no, like, I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to make my own path in life, which I found really cool. But when I took this role, I think being a new mother made me gravitate to this role. I'm not sure whether I would have done it if I wasn't a mother, because I'm not sure I could have related.
So interesting. And I think that so many people are probably going to resonate more with Juliet, but that's okay because that's just the way the story is. But I
You should
loved meeting.
resonate with Juliet. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Make your own path, do your own thing. That's amazing. And it's so lovely meeting you, Rebel. I hope we get to speak again, and I hope you have a lovely Mother's Day
Oh,
this
thank
coming
you,
weekend.
Alyssa. Thank you. I know Mother's Day is a thing. I got to remember flowers for me, my wife, my mum, my grandma. So happy Mother's Day as well to everybody out there. And I hope you get a chance to see Juliet and Romeo.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks, Alyssa.
That's good stuff. Nice to
I
meet
am
you.
doing so well. It's so amazing to meet you, and congratulations on this movie. It's so amazing to watch.
Thank you.
Of course. So, for myself, and I'm sure a lot of other people, we have seen the original Romeo and Juliet stories and have enjoyed them for years. And I was wondering if you've seen the other versions as well. And I wondered, how did you let go of what came before, and how did you make these roles your own since it's a modern retelling?
I mean, I have watched it and I've read it and I did it in school, so I'm familiar with Shakespeare's version, the play. But this, from the get go, felt like a very different version of it, and a much more modern and relatable to a modern audience. And there was a lot of freedom in knowing that. Good sort of like, yeah, we had a lot of free reign, I think, with these characters.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you,
Yeah,
Julie?
you said it so well. I reached out to our director about like what was the best way to go about preparing for the role, and I thought it would be going back to the original text, but he said just stick with our script because there are little twists and turns that are slightly different, and it has a different energy and feel to it. So I think that was important. I don't know whether I watched all the versions of it, but I have that version that we've probably all seen imprinted on my mind. That's pretty hard to forget. So,
I think I know which one you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
There's been so many, but it's such an amazing story. People love it.
Yeah.
And something that I loved about this version was the music. And I'm sure you both loved it too. And I was wondering how, pop music really helps drive the emotional arc of this film. So I was curious, was there a specific song in this film or maybe outside of the film that really helps you get into your character, or really helps you understand their journey and, personify it more?
I mean, I think the what pop music does, and music in general, is in many ways it's modern day poetry. And with musicals where you get to suddenly burst into song, and you get an insight into their inner worlds, Romeo's and Juliet's inner worlds, through the lyrics and through the songs, which in many ways, just there was a lot to sort of dive into in the songs to help figure out what they're going through and how they're feeling and what their sort of emotional arc and journey is throughout. Yeah.
Yeah, specifically this song that Clara and I sing together. It's called "Conversations." It's towards the end of the song, towards the end of the film, sort of when we've been torn apart. I kept on going back to that song, just because I love like dramatic, somber, melancholic kind of songs. So that always got me into the frame of mind, or like the heart of Romeo, I suppose.
Yes, I really think that audiences are going to connect well with both of your portrayals. And I thought you had amazing chemistry, and I just really enjoyed watching you. I'm excited if there is a continuation of anything with you. I would be very excited to see it. And I really appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Yeah. How are you, Timothy?
I'm great. Pleasure to meet you.
Amazing. It's amazing to meet you too. And congratulations on this film. It's a really amazing, refreshing retelling of this story. So it's amazing to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Greatly appreciated.
Of course. So my first question for you is something that immediately caught my attention was the replacement of Shakespeare's iambic pentameter with pop music in a way. And I was wondering, what did that unlock emotionally for the film, and how do you think that approach really makes this like a really fresh retelling?
I think it's an incredibly important question, and probably the most specific, challenging choice we made. And it actually was born from a conversation I had with my brother Evan Bogart, who wrote all the music. You know, he wrote Halo for Beyonce and SOS for Rihanna. He's a very talented young man. But I was chatting with him specifically about iambic pentameter and asked him why did he think Shakespeare had used that. And he said, well, that is the poetry of his time. I said, well, you're 100% right. That was. And I said, well, what's the poetry of our time? He said, pop music. He said, watch this young audience today. Music is not something they just listen to. It literally is who they are. It's how they breathe. It's how they eat and sleep. That's inner voice. And I thought, boy, that really is what Shakespeare was doing then with inner voice. But this is for this audience today. In all fairness, and I've directed on stage many times, iambic pentameter is tough, right? Iambic pentameter is beautiful, but it's hard and it's not terribly accessible. Pop music is today what that meant to be. And that really was the launch of the idea.
Oh, that's amazing. And that's a cool way to look at it, because I definitely, as a young person, I identify with music very heavily. And, you know, reading Shakespeare in school was a challenge. It wasn't always engaging and accessible, like you said. So that's such an interesting way to approach it.
And yet the story and the themes that he's exploring are so brilliantly accessible. But you're 100% right. We all say, grown-ups, eat your vegetables, read your Shakespeare. Yeah. That's not what it's meant to be. Understand where it came from, how it powers you. That's what we tried to do, is to take that and give another window into it.
Yeah, no, that's such an amazing perspective, because like you said, it's something that we just kind of had to do. It became a chore. And it's, you know, it's important for us to be able to actually understand and resonate with these stories, because they are relatable, even though the language from before was a little bit flowery and difficult. But it's
so much fun, which I think people also lose a little bit of the expectation of how much fun this world, this moment, these young people were. That's what we really wanted to celebrate.
Yes. And I feel like this film is really about giving a second chance to these characters, because we're so accustomed to the older versions where it's just like immediately like everything is the same for both for the most part. Yeah. So I was curious, what message did you want to leave the audiences with, especially the younger viewers who maybe didn't grow up with the originals and maybe would want a newer telling of this story, giving them the opportunity to actually live a life that's
I think the message really, and what I really would hope people come out. First of all, I really hope people have fun again at the movies, which may sound like a strange thing, but it's been harder, certainly over the last number of years, to have fun. And while one might go, but that story is a little bit dark, I would say, give it a beat, give it a shot. You might be surprised in some of the places that we're going. But I hope people have fun again. But to your main point, I hope people can embrace these unbelievably important themes about who we are when we're young people, what we want, what the obstacles are, and what should drive us and be our ultimate compass. Because I think that's a message that is really important to that young audience today. I think that's the brilliance of Shakespeare. It's the same message as it was back in 1301 or 1595 when he wrote it.
Yeah. And I can hear the passion in your voice when you're talking about it. I was really wondering, was there a moment while you were filming where everything just really clicked for you emotionally, this vision that you have for this project? Any moments just as a director where you were like, wow, like I created this?
Yes, not while filming, but when I said cut. So the amazing thing is we're sitting out there in Italy, again, on top of these mountains in the middle of the winter and freezing snow. And there's like a 400-person, primarily Italian male crew. I mean, we have a lot of other people, women and stuff, but in Italy, there's a big bunch of 55-year-old Italian men. I always play music when we're shooting because but in everybody's headphones. So I want the people operating the crane to feel the music of the movement. I would say cut, and suddenly watch as all of these people are just bopping around singing our songs. I think there's something here. Here are all these like 50, 60-year-old Italian men just going, as they're singing the song, I think we got them somehow. So hopefully the movie fulfills that promise.
That's amazing. I can just picture everybody just really in tune.
It was a party on set. And so that really was the message going, that works.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Timothy, it was so fun talking to you, and I hope we can speak again for your upcoming work. And thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Great pleasure.
Thank you.